Oh, that's great. Oh gosh. Everything is fun.
Where is it? Where?
Well, the Flat Earth Society ended up saying that Mars is round.
Yeah, no, I know, that's amazing.
Do you want to blow it to the camera?
I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, Mars is round, definitely a planet.
Well, we've observed Mars to be, you saw that tweet, right?
Yeah.
We've observed Mars
yeah.
to be round, but have not observed Earth to be round.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're just like, I don't,
Where do you start picking the flaws apart? I mean, it's such a target-rich environment, right?
you know, but it's, so you can't.
Oh yeah, by the way, congratulations to the mad rocket scientist who got 1,000 feet into the air. Good job for your flat
Oh
Earth
yeah,
rocket.
the rocket scientist who did the steam-powered rocket who got 1,000 feet in the air.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Also,
Yeah.
Yes.
don't
I can
let
get
Ben
on an
just
airplane that
manhandle the
goes.
show.
You know,
You
was
are
like
Capcom.
so-
You are in control. You decide when the show starts and when the show ends.
So
Do
should
you
I just have
understand
taken
me?
the book from
You
him?
always say
Really?
Capcom. How dare you just let him take part of the show? Stop taking over the show.
I can't help it.
Okay. This is my first
Actually,
show
what's
with Ben,
amazing-
so I was like, what are my boundaries? Like, how do I?
Oh yeah, no, you can always tell me
Okay,
to
so
F
next
off.
time I'm literally just gonna take everything and just like put you in the corner.
Yes, thank you. What
Get you like
microphone
a
are you
hat.
wearing right now?
Mom and Dad
I'm
are
MS1.
fighting again.
So wait, what microphone are you wearing
He's
right
commander.
Oh,
now? You're
Commander.
commander. Don't let him do that to you.
What
I'm
happened?
MS1. He was interested in my science experiment.
You're
What's
the
up?
commander. That's
So-
the microphone you're wearing. She's Capcom.
We changed-
She has control of the show.
We changed the way the microphones work today, which, by the way, is part of what the scramble before the show was.
Oh, man.
We changed the way all the microphones work because we would link it to me, like the microphones are like Ben's microphone, Jared's microphone, Carrie Ann's microphone.
But then we'd have like everybody off and be like, Athena, you're Ben, and Carrie Ann, you're Jared, and Jared, you're Gab.
So-
I think
So many
I'm not
identity
sure.
crises.
Right, yeah, exactly. So Dutta had a really great idea. So instead of doing that, now we have
I don't know
we
what's
have,
going on.
We have Commander, we have Capcom, MS1, and MS2.
Can I just
All
claim
right.
that I was on so much cold medicine I didn't know what to do?
You were helping me design a
Stands for
Death
Mission
Star, and it was
Specialist
amazing.
1 and Mission Specialist
the
2,
commander?
right?
Bam,
Here
bam.
it is.
Let me check.
That's
Yes.
right.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm the Emperor. I have a
What's your
tiara
Where's your tiara?
in the car.
All right.
So
Have you seen
temporarily.
the
Get your
tiara?
tiara. It's after dark.
Someone
Go
wrote
get your
ban
tiara.
Ben. Tars wrote ban Ben.
You might be the Emperor,
Oh,
but
man.
the Emperor never interrupted Grand Moff Tarkin when he was making his speeches, so what the hell?
So we have no space pods today. Are you up for talking more just about space in general and stuff? I don't want to like force you onto the show. You don't need to actually go to any trouble of wiring that properly. Just clip it on. It's after dark. We do not care at all.
Just sit over here.
You can if you want. We can rotate a camera over, or if we can get a stool thing. The quantum physics of microphones.
No, I
Someone get a rocket scientist.
Yes?
put up very neat.
I'd move out of the way, but
Yeah.
Ben still has my wheels disabled on the motor.
Oh my God, that was a fun show. That was a great interview. You did a great
That
job.
was
You
such
brought-
a good interview. That
Yeah.
was
It's
great.
a good time. You guys get it. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, they get it. I just pretend.
No, but you do like AM radio drive time on the East Coast. You get up at 4 in the morning, talk to these guys. Like, so, hey, how about them rockets? We never went to the moon. Come on, admit it.
Oh man.
You're what's wrong with the youth of America. You're not even young.
So for it depends on the person, right? So for some people, if they just don't understand, and I can almost see how some people are like, I have a hard time believing we went to the moon. If we did, why haven't we been back in
Well,
50
and why
years?
is it taking 20 years?
What
to build
if?
seven?
How could we
Yeah.
How could we not have the technology now, but we had the technology back then? That doesn't make sense. And frankly, that's a true statement. That doesn't make sense. It is incongruent. It's illogical. It doesn't actually make sense. We should have gone the other way. So those people, I think you can be like, yeah. I mean, you need to understand what happened politically.
Right.
You know what happened. You know why it happened and how we got to where we're at. And then I think they can be like, oh, okay, I get that. But for other people, it's almost their self-identity. It's their self-religion, and you can't convince them otherwise. It's impossible. They don't want to be convinced otherwise. They want there to be a conspiracy. They want it to be wrong. And you can fight with them until you're blue in the face. They will never accept logic, science, or reason. They will only accept emotional whatever makes them feel like that's part of their identity.
Well, and conspiracies are very sexy, and there's no point of qualification for entry.
I'm going
right?
to grab, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm going to grab a stool, and Rod, if you want to
Okay.
take this chair right here, come on over and we'll do that.
And that makes them very
I
attractive.
love
You
it.
don't need a master's degree. You know, you just show up
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, I believe," and everybody's happy. And personally, I find it much easier and more gratifying to just believe in what appears to be the truth. Which is
Yeah.
we went and we have photographs and evidence and 800 pounds of moon rocks.
There's
You know, that's
overwhelming
kind of
evidence.
compelling.
Overwhelming
Yeah. So come on, give me a break. But conspiracies are fun and people do love them. I just
Should we start one right
understand
now?
Myself.
I love countering space conspiracies with opposite
So why
space
did-
Hang on one second.
conspiracies.
Can we get him an earpiece? Do we have an extra earpiece so you can hear Mike?
Oh.
'Cause, yeah, we've got.
Hi, Mike.
You've
Yeah.
got a hologram you can't hear, and I've
Yeah,
got
that's
like
right.
double. I've got
That's right.
competing conversations. Stand by one. We'll get you
More boxes.
Yeah, aren't you excited for that?
Ooh, this one's lighter than the other one.
That one's not as good.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, Mike. What did you say?
I feel like I'm going back to a flip phone here.
I love countering conspiracy theories with other conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Couldn't even tell you at first, right?
Like, my favorite space conspiracy theories is that Yuri Gagarin actually didn't die in a plane accident, but was actually the Russians actually beat America to the moon, but he wasn't able to get back and got stranded there. You know, the whole what was that
Whoa.
movie? What was that? Apollo 18, that dumb horror movie where the rocks were alive or whatever.
haven't
I really
heard
liked
of it.
how there was a Russian lander there and everything. So yeah, that's one of my favorite conspiracy theories. You just be like, oh yeah, well this was actually what was happening. And they're just like, whoa, man, you're blowing my mind. So
I gotta-
it's funny. I've had a couple of friends that I've like thrown off in different directions, and just the process of them doing more and more research. You're like, you know, I don't know about this whole moon hoax thing anymore. I think we actually did. I'm just like, yeah, we did. We actually did go. Thank you for looking into it.
I gotta say, one of my favorite moments ever up at Griffith. I'm not gonna say who I was working with.
Oh, come on.
Up there at the time, but a flat earther came up to us and was like, I don't believe the Earth is round. I think that there's like a definitive edge to it because it's flat. And my coworker right next to me, without missing a beat, went, "What if it's a triangle?" And they were like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, triangles have edges too. What if it's a triangle? How do you know? How do you know it's flat? It could be a triangle, could be a square, could be a hexagon."
I think I know who that was,
So
too.
yeah, and they
not
were like, well, it couldn't possibly be. And he's like, no, they have edges too. Why is it gonna be flat? Huh? Why can't it be a polygon? And,
Why does it have to be a disc?
And like this person's mind was just like, oh my god, like I haven't possibly ever thought of this, you know? Like you could see it just running through their head, and it was so great. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Oh man.
It's so funny.
That's
So-
amazing.
Oh man.
See, some people believe in the flat Earth. I believe in the hexagon Earth. So
HB1, would you mind grabbing a couple
Trapezoid
waters?
I think a trapezoid Earth would be fun.
Yeah, I do, because we only have one.
I believe in potato
What's that?
Earth.
Do we have a couple?
Potato Earth?
What's that?
Potato as the coworker.
Yep.
It's a new person up there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's nobody from the old days. So
From the old days.
Oh,
Do you have any
yeah.
good Griffith
Those
stories?
were the old.
Yeah,
you're
I
allowed to
hear
say it?
those.
Well,
I will
that's
be
the
right
problem.
back.
You
Yeah?
know? Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot of borderline debauchery that was happening because we were virtually unsupervised after 6 o'clock, and they
wait,
put
there
22,
still isn't?
22-year-old science geeks in charge. What do you expect, right? We did have one thing. Yes, I could talk about this. We had we called the story the Ring Around the Moon Department, because every time we got that certain hazy atmospheric condition where you get that white ring around the moon.
Call that a
you still get
22-degree halo. So, 22-degree
Thank
halo
you. Yeah.
when the ice crystals refract.
Yes, I
light through.
know. I was there.
Well, just for our viewers.
Oh, okay.
who
Thank
listen
you.
to
Yes.
this, so.
Listen to him. So we get these calls.
Round two.
Observatory. Yeah. So you're working the info counter. You have to answer the phone.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Back
yeah,
in the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Griffith Observatory. Yeah, saw a ring around the moon. And about the 40th time in the evening, you were ready to like take your own life or fake a stroke just so you'd get out of there. So we'd pick up the phone and say, Griffith Observatory, can I help you? Yeah, I was outside. So hold on, please. We transfer you to atmospheric phenomenon. So we get a guy in the back. Atmospheric phenomenon. Yeah, I saw a ring around the moon. Oh, yeah, you need to talk to the science desk. So we transfer him to the science desk. I think the record was 13 transfers until we got them to the Ring Around the Moon department, where the guy who was a lecturer,
good,
whose
thank you,
name
though.
shall remain undefined, said, Ring Around the Moon department.
Ring
Yeah, I
around
saw
the
the
moon
Ring Around the Moon tonight. Yes, you did. Thank you, sir. And he hung up on him. Took them 20 minutes to get there. And I thought,
Wow.
yeah, that's showing them. The sad part of that is we were having a little fun at the public's expense. The fun part, or the good part was, we moved through a lot of extra effort to make it rewarding for people to show up. Do you remember that the dome used to have a removable hatch in it? Mm-hmm. The planetarium dome, is it still there?
I don't know if the hatch is removable
Yeah.
anymore, but I know the hatch is still there.
You had to climb up a ladder next to the smokestack in the center of the planetarium dome, which used to be for the steam heater. And you could pull that out, and when they had stars of the summer sky and the lecturer would talk about the gentle summer showers, a little squirt bottle in. Dump some water on the people and go, wow, planetariums are cool, aren't they? They have water sprinklers in them. That's about it.
We gotta still do that.
It's like a Disney ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. A little low budget. It would have been bad
that's
if we had
great.
fallen through the screen and hurt
Planetarium 4D.
So I guess when we go to Titan, it's got to smell like methane. Then
Yeah,
gotta
we could
release
just dump
some-
ammonia in their eyes.
It's so real.
Yes, that's right. Look, honey, the children are screaming. This is very convincing. Mommy, Daddy, get us out of here.
Why does Titan smell like farts?
Well,
Why
wouldn't
shouldn't it
actually-
smell like farts?
It wouldn't really smell like farts, because most of the gas that's making a fart smell is hydrogen sulfide. So,
Nerd.
so
Really?
just so you
Really?
know. And there's not actually a lot of hydrogen sulfide on Titan. Very little, if any, that was detected by Cassini and Huygens.
Well, you see, it's actually a conspiracy. The Titan is populated with cows, and NASA's keeping it a secret. There you go.
So that's the first time I've actually'd someone about a fart. So
Oh, actually. So
Oh man.
I think, by the way, I've decided before the cold open, because we do the cold open, but we do them live because we're daring and stupid. Well, you don't normally do cold opens live, but I was like, screw it, we're doing it live. Before the cold open, I'm going to just have a quick soundbite of you going, yeah, I've seen a UFO, and that's it. I'm just going to cut that out.
Yeah, I've seen a UFO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a UFO. Just that will open the entire show. I feel like that would be an appropriate.
you could also
opening to the
you
show.
could also cut in me going, no, it's a triangle. So
It's got flat sides and corners and everything.
Oh my god.
So moving on from your farts on Titan story, probably you're the guy that would have come along to all those people during my Trek days and said, no, there really aren't little people living inside that ship, Mom.
Yeah, you're one of those people, aren't
got
you?
very
well, I'm not
upset.
trying to I don't try to kill the magic. It's just that if there's something that I feel
It
like
just happens naturally.
I just feel like if we're gonna make a joke, we could also make a joke at the expense of the joke, and that's the joke.
Oh my
So-
god.
Okay.
So
See what I have to deal with?
Yeah. You're a lucky
At
man.
least a
You're a
million
lucky
times
man.
a day, Matthew.
Hey, he works at Griffith Observatory. He's a brilliant scientist. Give the man a break.
Yeah, I can only imagine
they all are.
the amount of tomfoolery that you have to I can barely deal with people just in retail. Dealing with the Illuminati confirmed people at Griffith. That is the universal symbol for that,
Oh,
by
I
the
just,
way.
like-
Illuminati confirmed. Yep, Illuminati
Gotta learn
confirmed.
how to do that.
I do try to sneak those in whenever we.
Oh man.
Yeah, that'll happen off air. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Make a note of that, please.
Yeah. Well, y'all
Miss
know.
Smith, make a note of
strike
that.
that from the record, please.
Do you still get the regulars that kind of show up and go through the same little ritualistic behaviors? This is talking about the planetarium again. In the hall.
So there's some people that will show up consistently. Like there is a gentleman who will show up a couple times a week, and he has, I don't know the name for it, but it's the Egyptian headdress that like a pharaoh will wear. And he'll come up right at about 30 minutes before sunset, and he'll go on our western terrace, and he has like a how would I describe it? Like an antler horn. And he'll come in, he'll ask a staff member what time is sunset at.
News team,
And we'll-
assemble!
And we'll tell him
man.
sunset tonight is at 7:13. So then he'll go out about 20 minutes before the sunset, he'll watch the sunset, and then right at whatever time sunset's at, sure, and he'll do that a couple of times, and then he'll just walk around the observatory and kind of take it in and enjoy it.
And everybody just kind of
So-
clears a little path.
I don't know. Actually,
I
I'm
think
not
it's pretty cool.
I was gonna say that sounds
Personally.
kind of awesome.
I
See,
don't
that's
know.
cooler than what happened to us.
I don't know why he's doing that, and I don't know if it's like a personal conviction or something that's causing him
think?
to do that. But like, I definitely appreciate his dedication to it.
Yeah,
Because he is
yeah.
like, he does this consistently, and it's just like fascinating to watch him
Well,
come
there's
in and do this.
dedications, fixations, and fetishes. You know,
Yeah.
there's a kind of a scale of the whole. We
Yeah.
had a guy.
That's the name of the new YouTube channel.
You like that? I was going to make a shirt.
I want to throw it out there too. He came to our lunar eclipse in January, and when we reached maximum eclipse, he also blew the horn as well.
That's cool.
In front of everybody.
Was he
So-
wearing the
course.
headpiece
He
too?
was.
Wow.
I have never seen him not wearing that. At the eclipse, though, he was in like a white flowing robe.
Is he maybe a
for
gaul?
that. But
You sure it's a
but
headdress?
Most of
not
the
just
time,
like a-
it is like
hard
that
bony
Egyptian
thing.
style headdress. But most of the time I see him, he's in like he's very well dressed in like a business suit, kind of thing. So I don't know what it is, but he's
without
just,
the headdress, I assume. At that time.
No, you've only ever seen him.
I've
in
only ever
headdress.
seen him with his headdress
Wow.
on. So
So
And
he's
the
in a
suit?
business suit
and a
with a
business
headdress.
suit, yes.
suit.
So
Wow, this
it's
gets better and
fascinating.
better. I
That
thought the
feels-
flowing robe was kind of neat. But
Yeah, the
I
flowing
like-
robe with the headdress seems like it would fit, but
Yeah.
the headdress with the business suit seems incongruent.
Yeah, I mean, like I want to like go up to and
Such a
approach him.
literalist.
No,
And,
I
like,
stole that
ask
from
him.
her. She uses it so often that I had to slide
That's
it
because she
into a
says
show.
you seem incongruent.
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to like walk up to him and be like, "What are you doing?"
wanna walk
But
up
I
to him.
also don't want to like have him like weigh my heart against a feather or something. Like then the judgment comes down. The judgment comes down. So like I don't know what's going on here. So I'm like kind of nervous about it. So.
I kind of feel like I would want to go and then kind of bring my own and then just resonate with
Bring
him.
your own heart or your headdress.
I have a shell at home.
My own headdress, and then be like, wait a second, we're like, we understand each other, and then that's kind of the way you would find out what he's all about. So you'll just be blowing at the same time, but I'll be on the complete opposite end. He said he's on the west side. I'll go on the east side, and then I'll just turn around and be like, oh,
Yeah.
my soulmate, and then
Maybe
I'll
I am
find out.
Athena.
I
I'm
do have a
curious,
shell
though.
at home that I can blow through to make the noise. So maybe
Yeah,
one
I
day
actually
I'll,
have
I'll
like
bring
a
it up
horn.
and
shell,
join
right?
him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got a ram for him,
So,
actually.
yeah.
Call response. Call response.
Yes, exactly. But I'll do it. I'll do it from like.
Your poor friends sitting there like, I've been completely sidelined by the lunatics in this conversation.
Hi, Mike.
Sorry.
Oh, by the way, Mike, do you have a time?
Yeah,
I know you
guys.
usually have a time commit. Do you have a time commit? Do we need to let you go?
In a little bit.
right.
I'm good for now.
All right. Well,
This is fun.
you just let us know when you need to go and or just leave. I don't want to like make you. I'm not saying to leave.
I'm waiting for the most awkward moment. We've had quite a few.
I have
but
an
we're
awkward
not
moment.
quite there yet.
Darude
I'm waiting for the
Sandstorm.
most awkward moment, and then I'm just gonna hang up. Go ahead.
All right.
What
All
you
right.
got
I feel
for
like
us,
this
Paul?
show will get awkwarder. Weirder. Awkwarder.
Weirder.
Awkweirder.
Weirder.
Weirder.
Awkweirder.
We had a guy that came up to Griffith for years while I was there. This was shortly after that show, what the heck was it called? The Fugitive, that the bad guy was the one-armed man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this was a one-armed man.
What?
Well, he was missing an arm.
What
He
show
was
is
a disabled
this?
person. The Fugitive? It was a
All right.
a Quinn Martin production. It's the 1960s. You were not even a gleam in anyone's eye yet. And so we had this guy with one arm that would show up, and in his other arm, he'd have a shopping bag with little handles. And he always wore a short sleeve white shirt. His name was, I probably shouldn't say his name. Nice enough guy, but his thing was that he would draw pictures of the blonde female staff members only as sunflowers.
Oh, okay.
And he'd bring up like
Sunflower.
10 or 15 of them every week.
I feel like
and
that would not be
go
socially
around
allowed
and
anymore.
hand it to the women who would go, thank you, that's very nice.
Okay, it wasn't social
Security,
allowed then either.
security.
I'm making sure.
Oh man.
But we didn't have security, it was just the guides.
We
So
all
you
awkwardly
call
look at
security
the
and they go, yeah, you wanted to take care of them for
How
you.
would
That
you
didn't help
react?
any. So,
the
yeah.
big thing of late that we've been seeing very consistently up at Griffith is that there's got to be some kind of La La Land tour, because you will see tons of folks up there with a bag that says "I've done La La Land."
At that bench.
So I don't
The
know.
astronomer's
They're just
memorial.
walking around the observatory with these La La Land branded
All right,
bags.
let me ask you guys.
So-
Let's just say I wanted to mess with the employees and the volunteers at the Griffith Observatory. What would you suggest I do just to mess with them?
You go
And
into
I want to do the basic like flat Earth, blah blah blah. None of that stuff. No.
You go into the planetarium show and wait until it's really dark and then set off a strobe and say, Jesus, 3 times or something like that. We had a guy do that in Laserium once. He got up on the chair with a multiple flashing strobe in the middle of the Laserium show. So, of course, then nobody noticed it because they were all strung out on drugs and alcohol anyway.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Oh, this is a really good show. And he started screaming that he was Jesus Christ and that we should all worship him and so forth.
I feel like that's just the easiest way to get me kicked out. I'm looking
Well,
for
we did
the
drag him
easy-
outside and worship him with our fists, but that was a different era. So,
Oh man.
please stop that.
Gentle persuasion.
Jason says wear Egyptian rose and a top hat. I mean that could be it could be the ultimate.
I'm
just
sorry,
the
wear
message-
what? Only a top hat? Is that what he said?
Yeah, no.
That'll get you noticed. I am La La Land.
Robes and a top
What
hat.
kind of notice?
Like, what are you
so you
supposed-
want to do something clever, right?
Yeah, I want to.
Jason wants you to dress up like Baron Samedi from the Bond movie, you know? Like, what's going on here? Like, what?
How many of your compadres watch? How many of your Griffith associates watch this show?
This show?
A few.
No, it's
so
only
we
7
should-
people who watch this show.
So,
Yeah.
We're all in this room.
Okay, I just don't want to overstep any boundaries. You
Why?
could. There's a double ceiling. Have you been up in the double ceiling?
Have you been to the pool on the roof?
I know of it.
The pool?
Yeah, on the roof.
No.
All right, there's a pool on the roof.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed all the best stuff.
you should go.
The building is a concrete shell built by the Works Progress Administration, right? And the interior is hung from guy wire. That whole interior is plaster and chicken wire hung by little cables from this concrete shell. So if you know where to go, which is probably shut down now, you can actually be between the outside concrete shell and the inside thing. So you could get up there and use a loudspeaker to start speaking as the ghost of Griffith J. Griffith and narrating how it is that the city got this park after you murdered your wife in her bathtub with a single-shot pistol.
Oh wow,
Which isn't something they talked about.
No, that's dark. I did not know that. Wow, this turned that way quickly.
give you my gift of, contrition.
Yeah, we don't, surprisingly, up at the
You don't
observatory.
tell that version of it?
We don't. So I haven't heard that. Also, surprisingly, we don't talk about the fact that he shot his wife point blank in the face. So
Yeah.
Is that a true thing that actually happened?
he
Yeah.
sure did.
I had no idea.
Now, it was apparently an accident. He said it was an accident. The gun somehow flew in my hand and went off at her face. But yeah, it was kind of an odd moment for him, I
Yeah,
think.
we don't talk about that up there.
I'd like
Yeah.
to steer this back out of dark territory into something
There was a little bit of a story
Something
similar
like
to
you're waiting for that awkward moment.
I think this is it. Goodbye.
Bye! Pleasure.
After dark darkness. I had no idea.
Darkness.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He served prison time too for it. So
And then, by golly, this gift showed up from the city of Los Angeles.
well,
and
the
said,
city
Thank you.
took the gift, but then was like, we're going to put this over here for like 20 years. So
Yeah, it did take a long time because he died in the 1800s, didn't he?
no, he died in 1910. I want to say.
Okay. So they waited a respectable period of time
1919.
before they.
July 6th.
1919.
Can you be more specific? What time of day was it?
Well, I guess if I'm working July 6th, I'll grab the megaphone. from
Oh,
my
that's a
office.
great idea.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? How's my
Wow,
gift
I did not
going?
know that about Griffith.
Yeah, he did. We're
yeah.
just, we, you
But
know,
he
we-
did good
I'm never gonna
works.
look at it the same.
Yeah,
it's like a lightning
2
storm
years in
behind the
prison,
observatory.
so, yeah.
Like,
What was his
actually, do we even
fortune
get
from?
thunderstorms here?
No.
Okay, so if I do see one, it'll probably only be over at Griffith's Observatory, and then I'll be sure.
That'd be time
to
folding
know
in
this
on
is-
itself
Yes.
when Griffith comes out to punish us.
Yeah,
was
also-
his money
also-
in patent medicine? Or what was his money from?
Silver mines and speculating them and things like that. So he also had the title Colonel.
Yeah.
They used to call him Colonel Griffith, but he never did any military service.
There was a lot of that back then. I used
Yeah.
to live in a place
Can
in
I go by
Pasadena that was
Colonel?
built by Colonel Green, who was a patent medicine salesman.
Yeah.
I think Princess is
Snake oil
great.
peddler.
Yeah.
Princess?
Yeah.
You like Princess?
We're going
Interesting
Princess
stuff.
Colonel.
So,
Princess Colonel.
How about
Princess
your
Colonel Ben.
worship? I kind of like your worship.
Human worship.
Just your worship.
Your worship.
We'll call you
Human. I like human worship.
Human worship. Okay.
Human worship. Princess Colonel.
They
That's
wanna
gonna be
know-
really hard to introduce.
they wanna
you
know
guys.
about-
Colonel.
Let's not do that.
I like that.
Chat room wants to know about Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, he didn't serve in anything. Well, he served, but like not in the military. He served meals.
Yeah, all right.
But where do you suppose the Colonel, is that just a southern appellation?
I'm not sure because with Griffith, he's Welsh, so he never really spent time in, as far as we know, in the American
what is
South.
it?
So,
Oh.
or are we talking about Colonel Sanders?
I'm just trying to figure out what being Welsh has to do with not being
Okay.
Oh
in
my
service.
gosh,
But
that's amazing. That's space unicorns right there.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening in the chat room, but apparently
wow.
they've divulged.
Wow.
I think we started them off in a very bad direction.
Space
Going
unicorns.
back to like a more positive
That's
thing,
amazing.
Yeah, things have gone wrong.
Ivory horn called the Umbaya is in Egyptian Sudan. So there's your guy.
What's up?
Wait, what is this?
Who, what, where?
It's the Egyptian Sudan, and they have a blowing of an immense ivory horn called the Umbaya.
Oh, okay.
Umbaya.
But why do they do it?
Interesting.
Why?
It's a whole thing of blowing it throughout the day, where it starts in the morning and goes all the way up until sunset with the Khalifa, who proceeds to the mosque and preaches to his people, and then proceeds to the mosque for prayers and then to bed, and he holds a parade for all of his troops, and at the end of which signals beating of large nogaras, I think it says, and the
Is that like a
blowing-
drum,
Of
maybe?
course.
Yeah, and then blowing of an immense ivory horn called the Umbaya.
You know,
So
if
you
we
need to
had
be
known
on the
this,
other side
we
with the
could have brought
drums.
our horns.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so gonna do that.
If we
I'm
had
gonna
known this,
already
we
look
could
up
have both brought
wardrobe.
our horns along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just get like a conch shell to keep here at the studio in
That's
case
a
we
good
have
idea.
shell.
in case we
I've
have
got
to
a little
signal.
ram's horn in the mouthpiece on
Yeah.
it.
I actually have like an antelope horn back home, so yeah, I'll have to bring that up
Why?
sometime. So I have a rock collection,
Doesn't
and I used to collect like
everybody?
really weird fossils. Yes, I feel like everyone should have it.
come on.
But no, my dad used to live in Colorado,
Silly me.
and we would find these random things when we would drive out in the country, so I started collecting them.
That's what he
But
told
you
her.
could
Yes, I
actually
found
make
these
sense.
bones lying next to the road. That's not your grandmother.
From an antelope.
We do have the skull too. but
No
bring
antelopes
that
had
on
femurs that long.
set.
Daddy.
It's pretty cool. It's like really big. It's like this big.
Yeah.
Might make sounds, but the conch shell might be a lot better.
Yeah.
Reminds me of SpongeBob. Ooh, we should dress up like SpongeBob. Okay, no one looks
I
amused
kind of already
right
look
now.
like SpongeBob. I can't.
I'm way too old for
or
that.
Patrick, maybe.
Yeah, that's not my
Patrick is
generation.
cool.
It's not your generation
What
either.
No, but
It's
it was my
still
kids'
awesome.
generation, and
Oh,
I
my kids.
loved SpongeBob until they
Yeah.
changed his voice.
What?
They changed
When did they change his
voiceover
voice?
actors. It went from that guy to somebody who tried to sound like that guy, and it just wasn't right anymore.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
It was
rewatch
like when
every episode.
Mel Blanc died, and they kept trying to do Bugs Bunny without his voice.
Oh
which,
yeah.
that's just not.
Oh,
it's
I remember
not
when Pooh
Bugs.
Bear died. I was so sad. And yeah, and Piglet. Winnie the Pooh and Piglet died like only a year after each other. Okay, I don't know why we're talking about this. It's not space related.
This
but
is the most
but it would have been
depressing
fun to
after-
see
this
them
is
kill
the
each
darkest
other, I
after
think.
dark ever.
I finally
And
went
you're
on-
welcome.
about flowers.
I finally went on the Winnie the Pooh ride last week.
There's
You've
a Winnie
never
the
been
Pooh
on the
ride?
Winnie? Yeah,
Never
there's
been
a
on
Winnie the
it.
Pooh ride. in Disneyland.
Yeah, it
In
was
Disneyland?
great.
Oh, well,
admit that
Disneyland,
in
yeah. I
public.
guess what
That's
else
the
would it be?
amazing part.
Wait, what does the ride consist of? What do you do?
First, you go through like Winnie's
Lumps and
house,
woozles.
Winnie's like
And
tripping
then-
and trying to eat. Like
Yeah.
he's high and trying to have honey.
and then you do
Wait,
like
why is
an
he
entire. Okay, and then you do like
Kinda. now I'm munching. Give me some honey.
Well, I mean, it's relevant for California.
True.
But you
It's
like, you're
recreational.
like, you get very high and you see Winnie trying to eat all of the honey, and then you do like an entire blotter sheet of acid, and you see the hemp lumps and woozles.
And then Tigger tears his eyes out, right? Okay.
Let's make this show darker.
So is this like all that I'm
Pooh,
going
that
to see on the
hurts.
ride?
Yeah,
It's-
basically,
that's pretty
it.
close. That's
it,
pretty
yeah.
close.
You want to
Yeah.
turn that around to the cameras? I think they'd enjoy that.
Oh
too.
yeah, it's after dark. We're-
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna feel the same because I love Winnie the Pooh, and if I see him high, like that's gonna make me so. This is like so weird.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's what he needs to take a
I don't know if
poo.
anyone can see this, but this is bad. Wait, but I'm a big fan of Tigger. Is Tigger there?
Oh my god.
Tigger's the best.
Do you think there's a chance
Several
that he's
times.
not? Yeah.
Is it just?
There-
Oh, okay.
There's a psychedelic Tigger that's fantastic.
I want to see
Yeah,
this.
it's awesome.
Okay.
Like
okay.
Tigger wasn't already on
This is gonna be
drugs, right?
insane. Yeah. He was already crazy.
There was definitely a lot of uppers involved in that character.
Oh man. Oh man.
Let's bounce.
What?
Let's bounce.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
you
so
said that to me, I'd run away.
We got the Griffith stories. How about the DS9 stories or the BSG stories? I'll take them both. We'll roll the sci-fi stuff into one group.
I was working on. It was towards the middle or the end of good grief, of Deep Space Nine, which wasn't my favorite show to watch, but I was on it, so I liked it. And they were just getting ready to make.
Wait,
the
which
movie.
was your favorite then? If you had to pick one.
Oh, the original. Come on.
Okay, I'm a little more TNG.
Followed by Star Trek Continues, but yeah, TNG was great just because you had Patrick Stewart. But they were just getting ready to do the movie First Contract, which Frakes directed, did a wonderful job. I think probably.
Did you say First Contract?
First Contract. Did I say? I did say that, didn't I? First Contact. Well, because so the script comes to the effects bay, and we're flipping through it and trying to decide. We were invited to go work on the thing, and most of us said no, but. I heard somebody scream, "Oh my God!" And I said, "What?" They said they changed the date of First Contact. And I looked at it and I thought, that isn't right. Somebody called Michael Kuda, as I recall, and he said that isn't right. And what I heard was that Rick Berman, who's executive producer of the show, had it changed to his son's birthday to give it to him as a gift.
Wow.
And you wanted to call it, of course, we didn't call the executive producer of the show, that wasn't done, but you wanted to call up and say, you do realize this isn't a show. This is a religion. This is a cultural icon. This is a canon. This is a movement. And I don't mean that facetiously.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a serious thing to a lot of people, and you owe them a certain amount of respect. And I just didn't feel they had that in mind. That wasn't exactly the light-hearted, funny story you were looking for, but that's what came to mind.
So wait, then what do you think of Star Trek Discovery? Have you seen any of the?
I've seen a couple.
Yeah, because I mean they break canon, like they just were like canon.
Yeah.
What's that?
And they worry about goofy things like radiation in space, right? I applaud their attempt at making things a little more realistic. They still have push-button gravity, which is something a lot of us wonder about. I'm sure you do too.
They push-button gravity.
I want to walk on the floor.
Yeah.
All right,
the ship isn't rotating; it's just there.
That'd be so useful.
It would be, wouldn't it?
That would be great.
People
would it work? I wonder if it would work in the room where I could push a button and like release the gravity
And
in the
everything
studio.
just-
Wouldn't that be cool?
I just want to
That would
weigh
be
less.
awesome.
Partial gravity would
Yeah,
be cool because I
me
could
too.
be,
Yeah.
140 pounds instead of whatever. But
I feel like transportation would be easier.
Oh,
You just take
much.
one
Well, you
step
just
and you're like in
jump,
Canada.
right?
Yeah.
yeah,
That would be so
if you
great.
ever went to space camp, you got to do that though because they put you in that harness that had enough weights on it to make you 1/6 your weight, so you're like on the moon.
They're excited about space camp.
So
Wow,
there's
they're having a
Anyone hear
religious
that?
observance.
we
here.
have a new neighbor. And I
do?
don't know. Yeah, and I
They're
don't know
throwing
what it
parties.
is they do, but they like play videos and they can't play them at a reasonable volume.
Yeah.
So you may have noticed, like as we started getting into your questions, all of a
Yes.
sudden, like streaming through the wall was like this obnoxious amount of noise coming from. Like what the heck is that? Yeah, I don't know what they do. I got fed up, so I left. I walked out here. I went next door and I went up there, but it's like I don't know what they do, but
They're just pulling the
lock-
ritual knife out of the chest when you got there.
Yeah. So
Oh, look at that.
It's more.
By golly.
It was more like if you were to imagine like small room MLM type things where they put a bunch of people in like, but instead of like going to the effort of telling you, they're like, here, just watch this video, and so they just have like a couple of people in a room with a clipboard watching this video intently,
Whoa.
and I was like. I'm not comfortable, and I left.
smart.
Because I couldn't find anyone. I didn't know who
Because
was like.
that's very cultish, those things.
Yeah.
I didn't find anyone who looked like they were in charge, so I was like, all right. Because I just wanted to be like,
We're all in
Shut up.
charge, my brother.
yeah,
It's the will of Landry. Yeah.
yeah.
You can wear yellow or orange or red.
Is there another color you want to wear? I had
That's so
a
weird.
TV production company for a while, and I was doing my
so
first
sorry.
HD show, which was a home invasion feng shui makeover show for Health and
Let me
Wellness
hang
Network.
on. I have to unpack that. A
invasion.
home invasion
Feng shui
feng shui
makeover.
makeover show. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna move that couch in the corner because that's the right place for it, isn't it? Eh? It was so it was kind of loud and wonky, but so we had a studio.
But then followed
Kinda
by
like
moments
here.
of silence because you have to.
None of that. It wasn't that
Understand where the
respectful,
energy
honestly.
needs to be shifted
It was
in the
actually
room.
kind of a cool show because you'd walk into the place later and realize, regardless of whatever your feelings are about the hocus pocus of it, you think, there's some environmental psychology at work here, and the room did feel better. and we got our paychecks and went home. But next door was a Mary Kay office.
Oh, man.
So we'd be in the middle of doing a voiceover session. Oh my God! I can't. I sold so many, but and everybody would get up and cheer, and she'd get her plaque.
I wonder what they're thinking right now, because the walls are just as thin the other direction as well.
Wow, they're doing porn next door. So it was very weird.
Have we hit awkward? Have we hit
You guys are
awkward yet,
completely
Mike?
separated from my reality here. Okay.
Hang on, we can.
He's petting your
Hello.
face. You can see
He
that,
knows
right?
He knows it. Here now.
Yeah.
Now he can watch you directly.
Hey,
That's how that
how's it
works.
going?
That's how that
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Trek forever. Good. So, what's your most inappropriate story for the afternoon?
Oh yeah.
Sharing,
yeah.
you know. Says, far too many to share, my friends.
Something far too many to share. Far too many to share.
Statute of limitations is 7 years, if that's helpful. Where is he located?
Oh man.
I have lost all control of this show.
Where is he located?
Started it.
Oh, he's in not Utah, Arizona.
Oh, excuse me.
Not
3 years for you guys.
The other Utah. He's in the other Utah.
The other Utah.
The other
I'll buy a
Utah.
drink. I'm sorry. No, you won't.
Mormons everywhere.
There they go again.
Yeah.
But actually,
They've had
I'm
enough.
going to
So
skip out on the awkward story, and I'm actually gonna take off now. But this
All
has
right.
been a great show.
Okay, let's all
Thanks,
salute.
Space
You
Mike.
saluted us.
Bye.
Bye,
Salute.
Mike. See you later.
Goodbye.
And color bars.
Yay.
Wow. What?
You like that?
Timed that just so.
Poltergeist. Okay. That'd be so scary if that just happened.
Oh. That's
It's back.
superpower he has.
It's off. It's on.
No,
It's on.
yeah, no.
It's on. It's on.
Wait, now it's back. Oh wait, now what do I again?
So you
Totally
guys did
poltergeist right
a.
now.
He's messy with Emmy too, is what he's doing.
So tell me about your presence at Yuri's night, because I didn't make it. I was doing
So I was at
conference
Yuri's
that day.
night, and that was my presence.
Okay.
Was it just me or did they run out of food at Yuri's night?
There wasn't
Was
food.
there food? There was
no,
no-
they basically there was no food. In fact, they basically said
They said there was
eat,
sandwiches, I
They
think,
said to
but then
eat
it was
before
gone.
you go. There would
Yeah.
basically be booze hall, and that was it.
I
Oh, that's not good.
their way around.
You
but
saw
I have no
what?
idea-
What? When was this?
I have no idea because I was.
Yeah, it would have been on
At,
that.
I think that
at the
was for the
very beginning of the
volunteers, wasn't
event,
it?
the
But yeah, it's
cafeteria
not-
was still open, so you could still go in and get pizza from the cafeteria.
Because when I think quality food, I think the cafeteria at the California Science Center.
Yeah. So, so more importantly than the lack of food, there was no water.
Yes.
That was right because you're drinking, and then you're like, I'm dehydrated. I just need some water. And they were like,
No, there was
Yeah.
water, and a tomorrow viewer bought some from me. It was $5
For a
and it
little
was 2
glass.
ounces.
Yeah, it was
What?
insane.
Well, in keeping of the spirit of the event, you should have been recycling urine through the shuttle systems above your heads.
Yeah. That's kind of
Oh
tough.
man.
Seems
I gotta
legit.
say,
It would have been bloody.
I hope that
Filters are
if,
still there. They're a little stale, but they were.
I would hope that if they're gonna have free booze again next year, that they at least have water to go with it.
Yeah.
So, because
It was.
So
yeah.
were you
Yeah.
guys there with an official booth or something, or were you
No,
just
no,
kinda
we were.
hanging
No,
around?
just there for
We were
fun.
just. No, you were
Hanging
officially
out.
there. You were a ambassador.
a
Yeah, that
boss
was
of
really
She had
fun.
she had a
A
sash.
sash. It
She
was
had
my
red
first
What did your
sash
sash
ever.
say?
It was just red.
Sachet.
Sachet. It did do sachet.
What did it say?
It didn't say anything. It was just
Oh.
a red sash. But I was one of the brand ambassadors. There was about 10 of us. And we pretty much were just recognized for making a difference in aerospace in some way. So the people that were there were awesome, that were on stage. I was
Yeah.
like really, really cool. So yeah, but it was a blast. It was really cool. Before that, they had they actually had like a Star Trek improv. Did anyone catch that? Because I didn't
No,
get to go to it.
no.
I heard it was really awesome. They pretty much had like a stage, and then they had a bunch of actors, and they did different scenes from Star Trek, but they would totally improv it and grab people like from the audience and then like incorporate them in it. And it was really cool. It was happening from I think 6 to 7, which is why I wasn't there because they had a
That's
little
fun.
chair for me to sit in, which was fun. But yeah, but I was kind of just running around like
A throne
shooting
for
things.
our
Her shoes.
Not even.
Her shoes were about 2 feet tall.
Yep.
So
My
she
hair was up
towered,
here.
and her hair went. So she towered over everyone. It was amazing.
It was so much
Hold
fun.
on, I'm drawing you as a sunflower right
As a
now.
sunflower.
There you go.
I don't know how I'd react to that. Like if someone drew you as a sunflower,
I'd run.
You would run.
If somebody drew me as a sunflower, I'd be flattered because sunflowers are thin. So that would be kind of cool. But if I was you, I think I'd probably run.
All right,
Yeah.
citizens of tomorrow, the challenge is to draw him as a sunflower and
Yes.
submit those to the show.
I wanted to be Winnie the
Yes.
Pooh.
Please
I
do.
will send them. I will send them your way. But we would like, and if anyone can do
man.
it quickly, send us a link, and
Yes.
Dutta will try to click
boy.
it through into the
This is gonna
system.
be an embarrassing
Oh yeah,
afternoon.
you're welcome for that.
I really want to see this.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. I really want to see that.
Oh, it's gonna be the most awkward thing ever. I'm excited.
I've had awkward moments, but I think you just topped it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sunflowers. But yeah,
Silence descended over the crew as the inappropriate nature of their comments became made more clear.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah,
a
I'm kind of
sunflower with bearded
kinda
glasses.
toast,
I feel like we're winding down. Anyone else got anything before
Yeah,
we?
where are all the requests from your chat room?
Oh yeah, all right. Well, hang on. Let's see what we got
Yeah,
here.
what have we got, chat room?
So let's just go in. Let's go in down here. Citizen 17153 says, "Let's talk about unicorns."
Cool.
Locas says, "Space unicorns." Mini Stowage says, "Oh my God, unicorns." Beth says, "Unicorns, rainbows." Mini Stowage says, "Where's the space unicorns?" Tickle Stuff says, "Biffer is powered by unicorn farts."
There's a theme emerging here, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Oh, here we go. I got one.
Oh, man.
Here's the last one. Someone asked Rod, "What show would you like to see revived?"
Well, there's a time when I would have said Lost in Space, but they just did it.
Yeah.
We haven't
it's-
seen
it
it yet.
just came out
It's
like
on Netflix the
yesterday.
13th.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen?
No, I saw it show up in my queue. but
Yeah, I
haven't-
saw a brief
I
snippet.
saw a preview and I went,
Preview? Well, if you remember the original,
no.
okay. Well, there are burnt spots in my mind for the original.
Are they fond burnt spots? or
if
are
you
they-
watch the pilot, so the first pilot there was no Dr. Smith.
Okay.
And it was just the Space Family Robinson and daughter Judy, promising actress, has given up her career on stage to go into space with her. It was terrible. Then they brought in Dr. Smith, who was a real bad guy. He was a murderous, homicidal dude, working for the unspecified communists, the Russians clearly,
Yes.
who came in and killed a couple of people and then programmed the robot to wipe out the family to make the mission fail because that would make the Soviet Union look bad if the mission succeeded.
Sure.
At least that's what we were led to believe. And so for a couple of episodes, that was pretty good. It was black and white. It was compelling. Dr. Smith was a bad dude. The spacecraft was in trouble. Yeah, they still use wadded up tinfoil for the meteors, but at least it was interesting to watch as a kid. Then it got stupid, and Dr. Smith, you blithering, bubble-headed booby, and all that kind of thing, and that's when it got really bad. So if you look at that the original conceit of it, if they did that well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. The idea of a family going to space together and the flying saucer thing is kind of wonky. But nothing can be worse than the movie they tried to make to revive it. Was it John Hurt was in that, I think? You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it had the dude from Friends.
Yeah.
Right? Matt Blanc.
Matt LeBlanc.
Blanc.
And I thought, I actually couldn't get through it. And it's hard for me not to be able to get through a sci-fi movie. There's only been a handful.
Now,
That
I
was
feel like
one.
that's a challenge for me to make a sci-fi movie that you can't get through.
Yeah. Because after I
Sharknado.
saw them,
Sharknado,
I
yeah.
love Sharknado. It's so bad.
But the problem is when they're so
chainsaws and the
bad.
sharks?
No, when you're so bad, you can get through it again.
yes, this is true.
I
yeah.
know. Did you see the Timothy Hines War of the Worlds
Yes.
spin-off that he
Oh, the
did in
spin-off.
2005? So we had the Steven Spielberg War of the Worlds, and then we had the kind of not very great. There was a nonfiction TV special that I did on History Channel, and a few other things. And then there was this Timothy Hines Victorian version, which he made for one. It wasn't Concord, it wasn't Roger Corman, but it was one of the lesser B movie companies that was still struggling to stay alive in 2005. And it was actually unwatchable. I mean, the colors weren't corrected.
Oh,
There were
God.
I got a
scenes where
2.8 out of
visual
10.
effects just stopped in the middle of the scene, and suddenly the tripod leg would disappear for 40 frames before they
What?
cut to the next shot. Heat rays looked like they were done with
man.
a crayon and a grease pencil. I mean,
Part
it
of me
was
wants
really,
to see this now.
Yeah,
now
I want
it
to watch it
seems.
too.
It was
I mean, it's
desperately.
like, poster looks pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
like,
And but if you've ever gone to the
looks
American
great.
film market, you know the poster art is cheap, and then they have all
Yeah.
these big star names that says credits not contractual on the bottom until they get the money, and then they hose all their investors. But yeah, it was actually unwatchable.
Yeah, I got 2.8
Sorry
out
for
of 10
anybody
on
who liked
IMDb.
it.
Oh man.
Because I wanted it to be great, because I wanted to see a Victorian version of that story.
Wait, is this one of the monsters in it? That thing looks adorable.
That looks like my
Is
uncle.
it an alien? Uncle?
That might be, yeah.
I'm just looking up all the images now. This thing actually looks really
Did you
cute.
watch Dark? Oh yeah, we don't need these anymore.
Oh, good, because
He's
it's
gone
cutting in and out.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah. Pain.
So these our IFBs are like molded to our ears, and you'd think,
But
oh,
yours
that'll
work, right?
Well, yeah. Well, that's because I have the big expense. I gave you the cheap, horrible.
I know.
So, yeah. So here, that's the big, huge like.
Wow, it's got a leather case and everything.
Yeah, like RF limits by the F.
It's warm. Good feeling.
Oh yeah, I
His
got
body
one
temperature,
as well.
yeah.
So.
No. Yeah. Well, no, I can't
These
be
are
body
nice.
temperature because I have a cold black heart that sucks in all the heat. So there's no. Yeah.
That thing sounds
Helps
so
with
different.
radiation
I
and
like
radiating
that.
into space. So.
I've never had one of those.
Yeah, this worked. So I walked next door. This worked the whole way. I'm sure my microphone cut out, but
Wow.
this worked.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I need
But
to
could
go.
you use it to wrest them into control?
Well, I figured it's heavy. I could just throw it at him.
There it is. It's on the screen behind you, or next to you.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay, so the
There's all
obvious
of us.
question is
This
who's
was
down
amazing.
front?
oh, this is Christine. Yeah, she organized that Yuri's night.
So much fun.
Look, her
Okay.
hair was amazing. And then what you can't tell is you had like glitter, like your hair
Wait, is
was.
that
I'm
you?
so upset I didn't bring it. Yeah.
You look Jerry Ryan.
I wish I brought
yeah.
the glitter spray.
I'm 6.5 of 14. So who's coming to
There, there's my
ISDC?
tiara. Mike, he is right
There.
there.
Yes.
Okay.
And then maybe Jared, if I can con him into it.
I think I have RTMC that weekend. So.
And then maybe
Wait.
Lisa, if she's back in town by then. Oh, she can't? Oh, because she's
This
doing
is
the thing?
May 24th to the 26th, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
so there.
I'll be at
I am so
So
there.
Athena,
RTMC,
so
so-
she'll make it.
Okay.
I already put it on my calendar.
Great. Thank
You'll
you.
make it. You'll probably make it. And I don't think I can make it. But if I could, I would bring the tiara because I feel like that would
should
fit
bring the
in.
tiara.
The National Space Society, that feels like that fits in perfectly
Probably
with their.
more
seems
than
like-
we wish it did.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's not how I remember NSS at all. NSS, when I was there last, NSS was very like.
Yeah. There's still an idea that it should be, but there is
Yeah, it
kind
was
of a
definitely like space. Space is serious business and should be taken seriously. And I was like, no.
So are we still on or not?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But, everything
Yes,
you say,
space is serious, it
everything
should
you
be
say
taken
is in the
seriously.
public record right now. I will let you know that is not the case.
Okay. Yes.
And that's the show.
It still tends to be that way,
No,
but there are.
I'm
groups
not
that
complaining
are
and saying it's
looser.
bad. I'm just saying that that's their
Yeah.
that's their vibe, right?
Well,
That-
it's
'cause we
been
don't
around a
have that
long
vibe.
time, you know. I mean,
can tell
it
from the
started
logo,
in the
yeah.
70s. Oh, now you've gone and lit the fuse. This has been a little bit of a discussion. Just the font on the logo. I mean, like 3 years of me. But there's got to be committee meetings and stuff.
Oh my god!
But we're getting there.
You know,
We're
ours
getting
took
there.
8 months for us to actually.
This
sit-
one?
Yeah, this one. The just the typeface, just the typeface.
That's very cool. But you didn't have 30,000 people you had to please. either.
That's the advantage of tomorrow is that really I just have to please myself.
I like this. The advantage of tomorrow is I have to please myself.
I feel like that also
Call me
needs,
airstrike. Everybody's in the same room.
that just needs to go into the cold open as well.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Oh, that's amazing!
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Holy crap!
Huh. You know,
Oh, that's great.
That's not the only one,
that's
by the way.
unflattering on so many levels. Oh, really?
Is this what you
Hilarious.
expected when you showed up? When you came? Like what level of?
Generally, this has
Tomfoolery.
taken a little, but I kind of brought that on myself, so I guess I can't complain. I won't be sending that to my mother, who would probably shrink in terror if she saw
Oh,
it.
that's
but-
so good.
Oh, you don't need to do that.
Make sure that it's framed up nicely.
Are there more?
Yeah, there's more. There's another one.
What?
Oh,
Okay.
now do you work in the other one?
Are they
There's a-
PG-13 at least? I hope.
Yes.
Oh,
The other
man,
one's
this is
not as
great.
impressive as that. But
This
this
is
is but it's
amazing.
still
The other
fun.
one won't
You got
give
everything.
children nightmares for years at a
It's
time.
true.
Mommy, make him go away. That creepy man.
You've got a theme in the snort.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a pretty good one too. I feel like you need to print this out and bring it to Griffith with you.
Yes, you do.
Right.
I'm back. Well, I think I have a nice stamen, don't you?
This is.
Put the pedal to the metal and bring your stamen to the show.
This is so good. Oh man.
I think the chat room wants you as a regular figure on the show at this point.
Okay.
Best one I've ever seen, Rod.
You ought
Oh
to
my
see me
God.
when I get a little less sleep. Then it's much more interesting.
No, but what I want to do is bring you on the show with alcohol. I feel like that would just take it to the next level.
I don't think you want that.
All right. On that note, I do think we're winding this. I don't think we can top. This is where
like
we need to end the
wonderful.
show. This is where we need to stop. Call it a day. Where's the Soma Bar? Yeah, I know Soma Bar. That's the thing. All right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It has been a ton of fun. I will not be. Neither Carrie Ann nor myself will be here next week. So y'all are on your own. Good luck. So that will be. That'll be a thing. Okay.
Well, apparently the will be here next week. However,
Yeah, usually I don't have to fight. Usually I only have to fight that, and I can notch that out with audio. That, on the other hand, that's a whole new war that we've just had to start the last couple days. So, all right, on that note, thank you very much so much for watching. We'll leave you on this. Have a great